Welcome to the Crush the Rush podcast, specifically the Fill Your Funnel series, where we're obsessed with email marketing and helping you turn leads into loyal clients. So notice that I said we, because typically on Fridays, this episode is just me, but because it's the end of the year and it's a crazy busy season, I thought it would be fun to change things up and bring in my friend, Allison Hardy, who is an email funnel expert. So we're both working moms. We understand the hustle of the season and everything that's going on, and believe that you can build a thriving business without crazy TikTok dances and on a schedule that works for you. So this October, we are going to be your virtual coffee shop buddies. We're going to be sharing growth strategies, day in the life hacks, and proven email marketing tactics every single Friday. So go ahead and mark your calendar because you're going to get actionable steps, real results every single episode. Each episode features one key action step. You're going to complete it. You're going to share it on social with us and watch your funnel flourish. Just tag us at the Holly Marie Haynes and at Allison_Hardy_. By the end of the series, you're going to have the skills and the confidence to crush your 2025 goals. Plus, we've got a networking event on October 30th to celebrate your success. So let's fill your funnel, boost your business, and conquer the end of year rush together. Make sure you subscribe for the weekly episodes and check the show notes because we want you to RSVP to the networking event. And we've got some bonus resources from both Allison and I waiting for you. So let's get to it. Welcome to the very first episode of the Fill Your Funnel series. I'm Allison Hardy. I am here with Holly Haynes. Hey, Holly. Hello. I'm so excited about this.
I am too. So the cool part about this series is that number one, it's only 4 episodes long. So super bingeable, super easy for our listeners to consume. But also these episodes are airing on both of our podcasts.
Yeah. And I think this is just a great example of how we had this brilliant idea and we're just going to do it differently because it sounded fun. It sounded really beneficial for both us and you. And I can't wait for you guys to follow along all month long.
Yes. Okay. So in this episode, we're talking about how to set up profitable email collaborations. And this is I know you and I are huge email marketing fans. So let me ask you this big picture. Why are email collaborations so incredibly successful for you?
Yeah. So I think this is where you're going to get two similar but different opinions, because for me personally, I've had really bad luck with ads. For all you ad people out there, you could follow up with me and be like, I swear there's another way to do it. But it just has not worked well for us. And at the beginning of my business, I was working full time. So 2.5 years ago. And I honestly just didn't have a ton of time to create lots and lots of content to share on social. I still really don't. And so for me, email always had to be the number one thing. But I think what I have found is, I think email is having a comeback, which is where this whole series came from. But also email can be really fun from a relationship building perspective. And I feel like that's where the collaboration piece has really worked for us, where I'm able to introduce people to, my audience, like Allison and other friends that I've met in business. I'm able to highlight our clients and tell their stories, which then helps them. And it's just become this sort of family circle where it's not just about me, right? It's about me being able to share resources that have helped me in a very organic way.
Yeah. So what are some examples of email collaborations that you have done that you have seen those sorts of results from?
Yeah. So at the time that we're recording this, we actually just got off a really fun email collaboration, and it was just with one person, right? So you could do email collaborations, and I know Allison's going to talk about this, where you have a lot of people. For me, we had a strategy where I just partnered with one person, and our whole goal was to help with each other's launches. So my friend April went all in promoting our launch, and I went all in on promoting her launch. And I'm talking 3 or 4 weeks of content where we're sharing each other's stuff and we're talking about how we've collaborated together and we're going live in each other's audiences and we're selling emails sort of highlighting why it's, helpful to look at what she's doing or look at what I'm doing. And on the flip side, the result of that is, and again, this is like very real time. During a live launch, we had almost 500 new people join our email list, which is crazy, just from this one partnership strategy. And then April had almost 200 people join her list. And so to me, that's a huge win. Just like being able to use, I would call like a lookalike audience to be able to see like, well, how can I help? Right? Like she teaches you how to create a signature talk or speech, right, on stage. I don't teach that, but I do teach you how to, grow and scale without social. That's one of the ways. And so it just made sense because it was like a lookalike audience. So I would encourage you to think about, is there somebody out there that your audience can learn from that is not what you do, but something that your audience would be like, oh my gosh, I need this to like help complement my strategy.
Yes. And I love that you just highlighted that, like complementary businesses, because I think that's really like the number one thing when it comes to collaborations is the audience has to actually make sense for your business and vice versa for the other person too. So I love that you mentioned that.
Yeah. Tell us about your program though, because I know that you have an affiliate program that you use that was maybe a great example of this too.
Yeah. So this is brand new for us. I've never done affiliates before for any of my programs, but Funnel of the Month Club is my membership and that thing's not going anywhere. I freaking love it. I'm like, this is the thing that's going to get me to 7 figures. Like that is my end goal in the next 2 years. So I was like, okay, I can do, I can run the Facebook ads. I can do the collaborations. Like I love being the head of collaborations. I love organizing that. I love doing stuff like that. But also like, what's another layer that I can add into how I get in front of people? And so like an affiliate program was kind of what we landed on. So it's been really crucial for us because I do every 2 weeks, I do a webinar to launch Funnel of the Month Club to that specific group of people. And like, let's call it like it is. I can't be promoting that webinar to my existing audience all the time. Like, they're going to like revolt eventually and be like, we've heard about this 8 times now. Like, we don't need to, I'm not getting on the masterclass. I'm not getting on the webinar. So I was like, okay, how can I get in front of warmer audiences that again are complementary? And so having that affiliate program has been wonderful because our affiliates have skin in the game. They get a 50% commission from any sales they make from their promotion of the event. And then I get the email addresses and then I can eventually promote Funnel of the Month Club to those people. So it's been really helpful in just expanding my reach and adding, like I said, like that other layer into how we're getting in front of people.
Yeah, I love that. So I know one of our goals of this episode or this podcast series is to talk about what we're doing. So hopefully you've gotten some really great ideas on how to set up a profitable email collaboration, but also like what actually are we doing behind the scenes right now? So do you want to go through like what you're doing right now, like this season, this week to set up profitable collaborations?
Yeah. So I like to run bundles. I think they're really fun. I like the quality of lead I get from bundles. And in case you're like, hey, what's a bundle? A bundle is a group of people who offer up a resource that is normally paid, something like $27, $37 paid product for free during a very short amount of time. So we come together, we offer up our products for $0 and we promote it. And so people can opt in to the overall bundle, but then they can also go and download these products that are normally paid for free for a very like 5-day long period. And so it's this like infusion of leads that you get as a part of being a contributor in the bundle. And then for me, I get all the email addresses, which has lots and lots of benefits. So like our last one that we ran in August, for example, we had 1,700 new leads come onto our email list because of it, which is great and amazing. Because if we look at like Facebook ads, that cost us, I don't know, at least like $7,000. So saves us some time, saves us some money. Yes, we do, pay in time, but for me, that's worth it. So what I'm doing right now actually is reaching out to new people to be a part of my bundle that's going to be in December. And so what I've really landed on is really refining who the bundles are for. So I have different bundles that I run and like being really clear with the specific ideal client for each of those bundles and who it is and what they're motivated by. and then reaching out to contributors that again are complementary, like you were talking about earlier, but also that speak to that ideal client and have that similar audience. Because I think that's really the key to a successful bundle collaboration. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. I actually just did a podcast episode on why all summits and bundles are not created equal. And yours was an example of one that works really well, because I think there's a lot of out there that are not, but this is a really great example.
Yeah. What are you doing right now to?
Yeah. So I think this, again, this is so interesting to hear, because I think we like focus on the same things, but do things differently, which is so.
Yeah.
So mine's a little bit more grassroots. So my goal right now is to engage in networking groups at least 1 to 2 times a week. And I don't mean like share my lead magnet. I mean, I'm actually like going in and like asking very targeted questions, or just being like an active member. Cause I feel like so often you'll like join the thing and then you forget that the group exists. And then, you go in when you need something, but I'm trying to go in as like like I want to help other people as well. So that's been a goal. The second goal is speaking in live events. So here in Columbus, Ohio, we have a couple of really cool live events that happen in October. And so I have some local speaking engagements that have been really fun, but I'm trying to like expand into, okay, well, what does that look like? Maybe if it wasn't in Columbus or it was somewhere else. So I've been doing a little research on that. And then I wanted to share the story because I also have done this before, and it kind of goes more to a local strategy as well. But last September and October and November, I made the goal to have one coffee chat a month with somebody local that was a local business owner. And it ended up being like the coolest challenge ever, because I met like so many new people. I actually ended up getting speaking events, and I'm like coming back to speak on now. And then, just because they're local doesn't mean that they don't have connections that are all over the place. And so that's just been like a really different way to kind of be like, okay, I just want to like change it up a little bit. And then last but not least, and I think you said this, Allison, is like really stepping into the role of being the head collaboration officer, right? Like, to me, client attraction and lead generation, like, it's never going to go away. You always have to do it. And so if you can think about, well, how can I do it in a way that is fun, something like this where it's different, and you're just like the connector, right? So it's like me connecting someone else to someone else because I know it's going to help them. Then I think my goal is that you would think that it would come back. And I've seen it come back in multiple ways.
I love all of that. Have you ever thought about, like, specifically with your like live events that you are speaking about or speaking in communities, have you ever thought about being the person that runs those?
I've had people ask me to do it before. The only thing that we run is our mastermind retreat. And every time we do it, I always get that question. And then I get overwhelmed and I'm like, no, I can't do it. But mate, I think it's there. I think it's like the idea is out there. We'll put it in the universe.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it would be really fun.
You should like be the person.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love hearing all of these different things that we're doing, because I think a lot of times we think, there's one way to get it done. There's only like this, we only can get, grow our business in this very specific way. And I think what you just mapped out here for us is like, no, there's actually multiple different ways. And yes, you have that end goal in mind, but like you could try a couple of different things and see how they work. You never know what comes from them because you've never done it before. So like being open to challenging yourself too. Hey, can I do an in-person coffee chat once a month? Like, what would that look like for me? I think it's just I think the whole idea of like staying curious, staying open is just kind of reiterated through what you just said here.
Yeah. But also we were even talking like before this of like some of the strategies that you have. And I was like, oh, that was like such a great reminder for me that I should like try this. And so, I mean, my goal is always I have at least one thing a month that I'm focusing on in terms of collaboration, whether it's, things that I just outlined or things that Allison outlined. Because I mean, you can get like shiny object syndrome like really fast and then it feels overwhelming. So it's like, hey, what's one thing I can do this month to just focus on? Like, I actually like the word collaboration better than networking, to just help other people and really serve my audience better. What does that look like?
I love it. I love it. And I think when you can approach it from that perspective, it like takes the pressure off. And I think that's
Mhm.
really important for a lot of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
All right. So we have homework for our audience
Yeah.
as a
So
part
the
of the
goal
series.
of this little mini series is, one, we hope you're excited about it. We're so excited that we wore matching shirts, which you'll be able to see when you watch the video. Two, we want you to listen to this and share it and tag us on your homework. Do you want to give the homework, Allison?
Yeah. So what we want you to do is we want you to brainstorm, get out a Google Doc, get out a piece of paper, wherever you do all your thinking, open up the notes app on your phone and make a list of people who you know that you can be like, hey, I want to do a collaboration with you. And you don't even have to like have a specific collaboration in mind. Like if you know this person and maybe you've interacted before, you should be able to be like, hey, can we collaborate on something? And we want you to make the list of people, and then we want you to reach out to 2 people and set up a collaboration before the end of the year. Like get it on the calendar, work through the details, and get this handled so that you can partner with them, so that you can collaborate with them, and so that you can both help each other because a rising tide lifts all boats. So like brainstorm what your next collaboration is going to be with these 2 people. And then once you do it, tag us on Instagram. I'm Allison_Hardy_. Holly is the Holly Marie Haynes. We'll put our handles in the show notes. But tag us, let us know what you're doing. What momentum are you creating from this work that you're doing? And how much fun are you having? What's going on with the collaboration? Give us the details. And we'd love to know more about what you're doing.
Yeah, we can't wait to see what you're doing. And we will see you next week on our episode number 2.